Okay, for an explanation as to how my code is supposed to work, I'm going to go through the A star function. The A star function, my goal was to realize that the maze was 60 by 60. In doing this, I divided the maze into 60 regions, each one by one. 3,600 regions, 60 across, 60 up. So values for them will be stored in this frustration array and this heuristic array. So how the A star works is, first it looks to find which region the robot's in, which is the floor of the robot position plus 30. So that way it goes from 0 to 60. There's this tested array to make sure that I don't re-enter positions I've already checked into the priority queue. So then it will create the heuristics for all the various array locations. The heuristics I used was the position. I am assuming the robot can only go orthogonally and not diagonally from region to region. So the distance, so it's grid, square, like intersection distance, not as the crow flies. And then there's this frustration matrix. The frustration matrix starts at 0 for every region, and then as the robot spends time in it and sees walls, the frustration array will slowly tick up for that specific value. So that way it doesn't individually path search around individual walls, but it knows if there's a region with a lot of walls that makes it really difficult to get through, it's going to try to avoid that region. So we start off with the target, and we set that to where the robot currently is. From there, the robot checks the 4 positions up, down, left, and right of where it is. Here it checks if that place it checked has already been added to the priority queue and removed, in which case it just ignores it. If it's already in the priority queue but hasn't been checked yet, it compares whether this pass heuristic is lower. Otherwise, it just adds it to the priority queue. Okay. So now this is all comparing what currently has the lowest heuristic, and then sorting the priority queue so that whichever region has the lowest frustration and lowest distance to the goal will be the next one checked, because it's assuming that the value of difficulty between getting between 2 regions is always the same, and so is ignorable. And afterwards, it will end up, after it goes through several times, until the top of the priority queue is the target. After it does that, it will find the target, and then within the priority queue is sorted which point led to the target. And so then it will put that one above the end goal, and then keep on going until A star gets to where the robot was at the start of the A star search. So that is the A star thread. Now for how the robot moves. The first thing the robot checks is if it's going to crash into a wall. The first thing it checks is if it doesn't have a goal that it needs to head to. If it doesn't have a goal it's going to head to, it just sort of wanders around, going straight, not driving into walls. This should only really happen until the first A star search finishes. At that point, it will have a goal that it's heading towards. If it is already at where it's heading towards, it sets itself to the next location for where it should go. Otherwise, it figures out if it needs to turn to get to where it wants to go. And then otherwise, it tries to go straight with avoiding walls if they come too close. So that was the logic and how I wrote my A star search algorithm to get a robot through a maze.